Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Common Collective. We're here via Zoom to discuss the announcement of the new Transformers Collaborative crossover with Jurassic Park. I'm joined here today by my friends Jereme and Charity. Say hey.
Hey Steve.
Hi Steve.
And I'm so glad to have you all here today because I'm interested in seeing what you all think as Jurassic Park fans and not being Transformers fans. So let's take a look. Okay.
Cool.
So this was just announced 2 days ago. This is the Transformers Collaborative line, and they just announced the TYRANNOCON Rex versus Autobot JP93 2-pack.
I didn't know this was coming. I didn't know this was a thing. We like Transformers, but we're not big enough fans that we follow along with what's coming out. So I was really surprised by this. And I think especially seeing it in these photos, man, they really got the paint job spot on. I am really feeling pretty good about the way that is looking. The sculpt looks really good. It looks really similar to, a full toy. So to consider that it does something completely different is awesome.
Yeah.
I think the other thing that I'm really excited about is just anything we can get with an Explorer, I am game on.
You know what's cool? I'm just scanning the image and soaking it all in. I'd seen something shared on Facebook, so I knew that it was announced, but I didn't really look into it. And just to even see the names, I didn't see that TYRANNOCON Rex. That's like clever of them. And Autobot JP93. So I guess.
What does that mean?
So wait, does that make the Explorer the good guy and the T-Rex is the bad guy?
That's correct. See the little Decepticon logo next to it? And it confirms in the packaging that it is a female as well. So.
Oh, yeah. My first thought is, how big is it? I'm curious, like the size of the package,
Yeah. That even one thing I'm seeing is, first of all, whoever did this packaging did such a great job as well, because I'd already seen the pictures, but now that I'm looking at full screen, like I'm seeing that he's standing on a fake cardboard flipped Explorer. So I didn't even notice that the first time, and I was super excited to see it. And
do you guys remember what the box looks like that the Mattel Explorer is going to come in? Because I feel like it has the same motif to it. Mm-hmm. The one that comes with Tim, I think that's what they did. They did the fence and the pathway for the tour and everything. Mm-hmm. I think obviously the front of the box is different, but I feel like the background is almost the same.
Yeah. They did an excellent job. Well, to give a little bit of backstory, so I don't know if you all know, so the Transformers Collaborative line started about a year ago, or it maybe even been it was in 2019 now, and the first one they did was with their collaboration with Ghostbusters, and you can see, what a great job they did on the car, and then shortly thereafter, they released Gigawatt for Back to the Future. And everyone was really excited about that, and they were doing the retro packaging and just what a great job they did making it look like it's from the 80s. And then they did Maverick from Top Gun, complete with volleyball. And so of course when they announced that they were going to be doing a Jurassic Park crossover, everyone was kind of like, oh, it's got to be doing a T-Rex. And also they did the X-Men line with Ultimate X-Pants, where they had the Blackbird.
I don't think I knew about all of these. I remember seeing the Ecto-1 at Target, and I think you and I texted about it. And what made me not interested, because it was crazy expensive, wasn't it? It was like $75 or something.
And that trend is holding. And so to give you an idea, in the 90s, there was a popular cartoon called The Beast Wars, and Megatron was a Tyrannosaurus Rex. And this is the newly released figure of him that came out this past year. So this is Megatron from the Kingdom line, and this is the Voyager class. And you can see that's clearly what they repainted. They gave him a new head. They got rid of some of the, I think, spikes in the teeth, which I can pull it back up. So coming back to what you said, Charity, about the colors, it's like it looks so legit in the brown and tan as opposed to, the green and the purple. But that's where the design cues come from. And one thing that's really crazy, Jereme, what you said is the price. So this is it's an Amazon exclusive in the United States, and it is $104.99. And on Amazon, it is currently temporarily sold out. So it sold out in what, a day and a half or something like that.
So the pre-order sold out, and the pre-order is for it to come out when?
It's scheduled to begin shipping on November 1st, 2021.
Are they going to make their deadline, or is it something that like it's like they always get pushed back?
They try to make the deadlines. It's just, I think distribution's been so wonky, and Amazon's, but it being an Amazon exclusive, I'd like to think it would be consistent. But one thing that's kind of crazy about it is I just showed you the Megatron picture. That figure sells for $49.99 is the retail price. So you could go, I've seen them at Walmart, I've seen them at Target for $49.99. And assuming JP93 is a deluxe, that's $20. If he's a Voyager, that's $30. So best case scenario, there's $80 worth of toy in there. So that's quite a...
And a $25 box.
Yeah. Or 25.
Or licensing premium.
Yeah. So it goes to Spielberg, I guess, or someone.
Yeah.
So, I mean, again, coming back to the paint job, I'm just noticing like even the stripes on her back right here, and that's really cool. So for you all as Jurassic Park fans, what's the significance of 04 on its on the Explorer?
Well, the Explorers from the movie were 4 and 5.
Okay.
It must be 4 that the kids were in, I guess.
That's what I was thinking. 4 would have been the one with the kids in it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So this is technically the one that got flipped and destroyed and thrown in the tree?
Yeah. And remember the gigantic black gun that was on the roof? Oh, everyone loves that scene. Where Timmy gets up in the back and shoots. Actually, it does kind of call back to the Kenner one a little bit, because it had that hatch that opens up in the back. And is there a mount for like a gun on there, Charity? If you flip it up, someone stands in the back, right?
There is. You know what? I think.
Oh, it's the DNA. The DNA projecting, like, rather than killing dinosaurs, it like sampling their blood or something.
Sample their DNA.
Oh, is that kind of what the Jurassic World Alive game is emulating? In if you play the game, yeah, I avidly play the game. In the game you shoot darts, but they don't pierce the dinosaur's skin. You're shooting a dart, and then it sits on the skin and reads the DNA.
Okay.
So it sounds very similar.
You deposit the blood sample by pressing the missile down on its storage post. Pull back on button to fire blood sample missile. So you got it. So that can be its blood sample missile. And then, just looking at a couple of different angles here. So I will say I don't have the Beast Wars Megatron, but I know that some of this is going to be more soft rubbery plastic. I think especially in his neck, you can see these little flaps that are going to be not hard plastic, but sort of the softer plastic. And I think some of his tail is. So what do you all think of the bot mode?
It's interesting. I don't know why, but the claw hand part, I don't know.
Is that like a Megatron staple from history? Is that how it was like back in the day with the original Beast Wars?
That's how it was. He had the T-Rex head for one arm, and then he had the tail as like a grabber claw type thing. And so I will say it is removable. So if you look really close, you can see his elbow and you see his forearm and you can see his hand. So you can detach it to have a little red arm. So he doesn't look completely like a lobster.
Yeah.
Well, during that whole era, they were just really going nuts with some of like the animal modes and the beast modes, and what would be hanging off of where, and what would be a shell that opened up to hide what. So I think they did the best they can, to the point that there's a famous scene from the cartoon where he's holding a toothbrush and he's using it to brush the Tyrannosaurus Rex's teeth, like his hand. So they did include I think they include a toothbrush with the Masterpiece version. So it's
So because you're the Transformers expert, so Transformers aren't machine, they're alive.
Exactly.
So when it's like in dino mode, is it like breathing and eating and pooping and stuff?
Correct. It better be.
So
one
big pile of poo?
Yeah, exactly.
We're cracking this stuff wide open, Steve. We're getting to the deep serious questions.
Well, let's get down to JP93 here. And what do you all think of the detailing on it?
This one I think is great. I love the detailing on it. I love the bar on the front. I love the little bars that they put over the lights. Like those are the little extra details that, you know, tell you this is something special. This isn't just something that they took off the shelf and repainted.
Yeah.
Yeah, the detail looks really great. And then it's even got those little sensors on the front for the roadway. Mm-hmm. It looks really good. Yeah.
Maybe you are paying for that premium, you know, and coming back to the paint on Our Lady here, you know, it's just like they put love into it, and I think that's really great to see. I mean, even looking at the back here, I mean, I'm looking now at the bottom, it actually says Ford Explorer in the lower left corner there. But even if we're moving, so now we're moving on to bot mode. Now, what do you all think of this? Not being Transformers fans, but being Jurassic Park fans.
I love the upper body. Something weird with the feet. I feel like it's like got duck feet or something.
Yeah.
Like pigeon-toed a little.
Yeah, but the upper body's awesome. I love that grill as a chest piece. That looks so awesome. And the doors being kind of like wings, like that is cool.
And that's such classic G1 is, you know, when you look at Prowl, when you look at Jazz, well, Jazz had the fold down wings depending on what version, but like just that classic version of the Datsun Z brothers, but like the wings and the chest hoods are always like definitive things for G1 car bots, and the fact they carried it over so well is just really nice.
The only thing that's weird is I feel like it needs feet that like need to turn around and face the front.
Yeah, and that's where this isn't the first time we've complained about feet on a character, and if you look closely, you know, now it's looking like that looks
better
like
there. It's not like as weird.
So what part of the Explorer is that? Because it's clear plastic.
That's like so if you look at the right foot, that looks to me like the rear corner of the Explorer. Like that's the rear window.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you can
so
see
the lower leg is the full height of the car.
And even what they did with his folding up, do you see how the front tires like actually fold up into his chest?
Mm-hmm.
Like that looks really cool as well.
And his head must pop out of the hood then.
It would have to, or somehow inside that you fold it down or fold it up.
Yeah.
So of course, you know, one thing that's really just a heads up in the Transformers scene is a lot of times clear plastic has the possibility of being more brittle, being more fragile. Some people have reported cracking, but you know, to what extent is that manhandling it or mistransforming it or whatever? I personally haven't run into that issue, but so seeing his weight potentially being put onto clear plastic is kind of like, you know, it's a little scary. So maybe have the parents take a test run with it before the kids start slamming it around. But
yeah, it's for the price, it's probably not one really to play with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
they'd have to make it at like $30 or $40 or something, right, to play with it.
Even if they sold them separately,
expensive.
You know, I mean, of course it's great they did as a set, but if they just sold a JP93 as a, I don't know, charge.
I like how it looks like he has sunglasses on, like he's Joe Cool.
I was about to ask, what do you all think? Do you imagine that as an Alan Grant hat that he's wearing or something?
So how different is that from like a normal Transformer head then? You think they could actually be inspired to make it a hat?
I was wondering. I mean, I think everyone was like, it was funny. They released in the Cyberverse line a cowboy Transformer within like the last 2 or 3 years, and he actually had a cowboy hat, and people were like geeking out that it's like it's a Transformer with a hat, like it. So,
well, wait, I've got a thought. What if it's a Muldoon hat?
That is true. I could see it being a Muldoon too, especially being like some sort of like hunter tracker. If he's
even Hammond here, he's got a hat.
Yeah,
that's true.
So maybe it's just a kind of a generic JP thing that a lot of characters wore, like straw hats.
I don't know, the khaki color with the sides sort of turned up. I'm definitely getting a Muldoon feel.
And you know what? I'm thinking aviators, like it's like a Grant thing with the sunglasses.
Oh, right. So now, actually, you know, like most modern Transformers, he's got the hollowed out thighs for just, I'm sure, just as cost cutting and to make it lighter and things like that.
And black boxer briefs.
Oh, that's just a must have, if you ask me.
You know, like mid thigh.
Yeah.
Stretchy wicking fabric.
I mean, it's definitely gonna have ankle tilt, which is always a good thing because you're gonna be able to get more poses out of it. But okay, so here's his head from the side, and there's those hollowed out thighs, which, how nice of them to put the little shock. You see, they got like a spring in there or something.
Mm-hmm.
And just seeing, you can see some of the transformation. You can see that hand is going to be flipping inside the arm, which is really common in Transformers. I'm guessing he probably won't have a wrist rotation, which is kind of a bummer. I'm wondering, I don't think he'll have much butterfly action there. He'll probably have the waist. Ankle's always good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, look at his gun. It totally looks like Muldoon's shotgun.
It does, actually. I'm getting more Muldoon vibes.
But to be fair, Grant had the shotgun too, that he took a couple of, pops off at him.
Yeah, Grant was holding the shotgun at the end when they were like escaping with the kids.
Yeah. But yeah, that really does look like the shotgun. I mean, it's even got like the little side for chambering rounds and stuff. And what's crazy is that they did release Voyager class Dinobot, and he transforms into a Velociraptor. So now if you got like a couple of the Dinobots, and you could totally kill
what
them.
line were those from, or when were those from?
That's also that's on shelves now. That's also from the Kingdom line. So what they're doing with the Kingdom line is they're starting to sprinkle in more of the Beast Wars characters by sort of popular demand and trying it out and see if it can't just all be G1. So.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I'm kind of in hearing that thinking like, okay, we have our Jurassic Park set, but could they give us a Jurassic World blue?
Ooh, are they gonna repaint Dinobot in the blue? He'd be a big boy. I mean, he would be as tall as if not taller than JP93. So it would be a big raptor, but
it'd be cool if they made a Jeep. I mean, not that it's a Jurassic Park line that can continue. It seems like each character is like a different movie, but if they were to make a follow-up, I mean, how do you not make a Jeep to go with the Explorer?
That one looks very blue-like.
So that's on shelves right now. And then they also made the fossilizer line that transform into skeletons. So then that's what he would transform into. So yeah, if you had a couple of those, that would actually look really good together. Let's address the one thing I'm surprised that got through with things, and I think I mentioned this and immediately thought about it, but take a look at I blew up the detail, and I just think it's kind of funny that that they managed to get that through. That
yeah,
going to say ASIC Park on his one wing, and like you'd think maybe they'd try to like resize the text or something to not have it.
Slide it over just a little bit so it starts with half the A or with the S, maybe.
Rassic.
That's a little Easter egg there for the grown-ups, I guess.
There you go. It can't be all craziness.
Right in there with those black booty shorts.
There you go. Let's get down to the real business. Do you all see yourselves buying it?
It's a little bit.
Is there?
I do want it, but it's a lot. It's a little bit much. I feel like I would probably need to like have it in my hand in the store and then seeing it, and maybe if it was payday, and I saw how great it was, I would spring for it. But I don't know. What'd you say? $105?
Yep. And an Amazon exclusive.
That's tough. It's just so you'll never see it in Target. I mean, it's tough. I don't know. I might.
How about you, Charity? What are your thoughts?
It's a little bit different in our household because we love to collect things, but we love to collect things that we can play with. But for $105, I'm going to have a hard time playing with it. If they came out and did the Autobot separate, even at like a $45 price point, I think I would probably be tempted to get just that piece and maybe keep that as like a little mommy corner thing. It's a little bit high for just an item that's going to sit on the shelf.
Would you all open it?
I would want it. Yeah, and I was just going to say I would want it to have the Explorer open. in
But the
robot
box
mode.
is so good. Like the display is so dang good. That's another thing. The display is so nice, but that's one of the things about Transformers that I've always said is how do you leave a Transformer in the box? Because you're losing out on the puzzle aspect, you're losing out on the robot aspect. You know what I mean? Like you're losing. So it's not just like, well, it's a T-Rex in a car and it's in the box. You know what I mean?
And it's so
This is,
big.
yeah.
You really have to be the type of collector that has a room and tons of space to display stuff.
40% of the JP93 is covered by box. Like they aren't even like trying to show it off. Like they're really showing off.
It's all about TYRANNOCON Rex. Apparently, they're underselling the Explorer aspect of it.
So I don't see myself getting it. I'm sticking to my G1 characters and their reissues. Lord knows I've been spending so much on the Kingdom line and Earthrise and everything. But as awesome as the set is, I don't plan on buying the set.
It's funny. I'm feeling like there's a title for the video here, and it's that we might not buy it. As cool as it is, maybe they're asking too much.
What makes it so great is what makes it so expensive. Even if it was $90, you know what I mean? Take the $30 figure, take the $50 figure, and add the 10. You know what I mean? Like that's just this market right now, and Amazon's distribution. You know, they've dropped the ball on like hard on the Ratchet Prowl 2-pack, and then the Medic and Ratchet pack, where they ended up canceling some pre-orders and for whatever reason. And so the fact that the pre-orders have sold, it says temporarily, so hopefully it'll be back, but you know, for it to sell out in a day and a half or something, like it is, which of course now will fuel the fears, because people who sat on it to think about for 2 days are going to be like, well, I better get it the second it pops back up, you know. So something to keep in mind. Is it weird to you all seeing a T-Rex rip itself apart and transform and stand up?
It is a little weird looking. Like the car totally makes sense. Yeah. The dinosaur, I know it sounds really weird, but when you're looking in the arm that is a dinosaur's mouth, seeing what looks like a water pistol instead of seeing a dinosaur tongue, it's a little weird.
Hilariously, the original toy of that from the 90s did squirt water out of its mouth, so you nailed it. So okay, well, I'm so excited that I got to hear your thoughts on this. Hasbro's been doing like such great work across all of their lines, and it seems like they're really continuing to do it. Of course, these exclusives are usually the bane of our existence, but we're really excited about it. And just remember, the pre-sale is on Amazon.com, temporarily sold out, but they will be shipping starting November 1st.
We'll put an Amazon link in the description, and we'll link the other ones in the description too.
And I'm glad we got to talk about it and figure it out.
All right, Steve. Well, thanks for answering all my questions, because I don't know anything about this stuff, and now I do. So thanks for that.
Yeah, thanks for chatting with me, you guys.
All right, well, thanks for watching Come and Collect It, everyone, and we'll see you in the next video.